After watching the first full season of Power Rangers Samurai, also known as Power Rangers Daycare, I was intrigued by the possibilities of Super Samurai. There are some plot lines that have my interest, like Jaden. What is this massive secret that him and Master G held in season 1? It must be real crazy. Or how powerful is Master Xander going to be when he finally enters the battlefield? Yo, this is the first regular female Red Ranger in the franchise. Let's see how they handle this. Bruh. They fucked up everything. How did they mess this up? It was right there for them. Today, we're getting out that Power Rangers barbecue grill one more time. We firing that motherfucker up. Meaning, we going in.
We can't let this moment pass. No, let's just make this party last.
This is some bullshit. Safe to say that the Neo Saban era of Power Rangers has not really been too kind to us over the past week, right? It's been pretty brutal. And we're only one season in. Power Rangers Super Samurai, to me, was so damn bad that it made me view characters from other seasons a little bit different. I don't mind the questions that Dimitri asked the Rangers whenever they asked the question in Turbo. I don't know about y'all, but Cybercam needs a music video immediately because he's an amazing character. Genji from Mystic Force is a deep-rooted genie with amazing purpose. The best words I can use to describe Super Samurai is they are doing too damn much. Marcus, what does that mean? The phrase doing too damn much is when you take a situation and you make it more than what it has to be. For example, I went to a club earlier this year before the whole Corona shit happened with one of my friends. We walk in the club, everything's cool. He sees a big booty chick, and the first thing this motherfucker says is, "Damn! She got a big old hydrogel ass!" At the top of his lungs. He was doing too damn much. He fucked up the vibe. And that is how Power Rangers Super Samurai is. We going in today, baby. The plot of Super Samurai goes like this, right? The Rangers are continuing to train in the ways of the samurai as they prepare for the ultimate battle with Master Xander. But Master Xander has a big plan for the planet Earth. He's going to flood the Earth with all of the water from the Senzu River, unleashing armies of his Nightlock monsters upon the Earth, and making the world of the Nightlox and the planet Earth his own to control. The plot was intriguing to me because the concept of a villain trying to combine his world with, let's say, the world of the humans is very intriguing. You know, we've seen that in different things over the years, from comic book adaptations, from different anime. So that was definitely something that I was intrigued by, and I like the idea. As Super Samurai begins, we see two Rangers that are training, preparing for a future battle they might have. We see Kevin is getting more better with his blade and his bow, and we see Mia has taken the next step with her fan and her air attacks. They're training against some Nightlock dummies, preparing for a battle they might have in the future. We next see Mike and Emily. They're skateboarding around, having a good time. And when you see that, I was glad that they kind of kept the pairings that they previously had in season 1 together. We know Kevin and Mia had that baseball episode where they were kind of booed up a little bit. And then you had the Mike and Emily episode where Mike was kind of saying things to Emily that hurted her feelings and made her feel some type of way. So I was glad that they kept those pairings up because maybe it'll actually go somewhere by the season's end. After we see Emily and Mike skating around, we go to a shot of the team looking very disturbed. There's Senzu River water that's now on the planet Earth. And it's all over the place in different areas, large amounts of it. And that's a very bad thing because that means that the world of Nilox is slowly migrating into the world of humans. And I really, in this moment, felt so fucking bad for this team of Power Rangers. They're looking at this Senzu River water like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? And Jaden, this motherfucker, brings his ass up the steps, looking heroically, and Kevin, being extra thirsty, runs up to him. Hey man, you gotta see it. It's real bad. I'm like, damn, brother. My nigga, I feel so bad for you. If this is the Red Ranger you gotta run to when shit's fucked up, y'all screwed, man. Damn. He's gotta go to Jaden when things are bad. Damn. And when you talk about the first episode overall, there are a variety of things that really stuck out to me that seriously concerned me about what was lying ahead. Let's get into it. Staying with the Ranger team, no member of this team has an updated look. It's supposed to be the second season. These characters are supposed to grow, not just mentally and dialogue-wise. They're supposed to grow physically. And that's one thing that really irked me. Everybody looks exactly the same as they did last season. They couldn't do anything with giving a certain character a different type of a hairstyle, or maybe a character's personality has shifted a little bit for season 2. Nothing. That's one thing that makes Mighty Morphin a season that's worth watching, because the characters change and grow with each season. You see Billy eventually gets to the point where he doesn't need glasses anymore. Season 2, you see Zach is moving more confidently on the battlefield. He has dreadlocks. There are so many different elements they put into Mighty Morphin so that the cast can grow with the audience. And as the audience gets older, they see the characters change. And I hated the fact that everybody looks like they just came away from episode 20 of Samurai. That is just annoying as fuck. We gonna stay on things that really annoy me. Another thing that really stood out to me. Bulk and Spike. We gonna get this out the way right now. Bulk is doing the same exact things he did in Mighty Morphin. Not only is he doing the same exact things, but I think Saban gave him the Mighty Morphin script. Seriously, they screwed this man over so viciously. His plot line this season is him and Spike are going to spy on the Samurai Rangers and learn the ways of the samurai.
With this, we can document the Samurai Power Rangers and our heroic climb to samurai status.
Go back to Mighty Morphin Season 2. Him and Skull were trying to get pictures and recordings of the Power Rangers in action so that they could expose their identities.
Them? Those dweebs are the Power Rangers?
Yo! He's recording and taking pictures of them in Super Samurai. Y'all not even trying. Like, y'all didn't even try to get this man an interesting plot or purpose to exist in Super Samurai. Y'all literally did a quick Google search and gave this man the same shit. Fuck y'all, man. That's lazy as hell. Speaking of lazy, towards the end of episode 1, we finally get something that is a Power Ranger staple for the past 2 years, right? Giving the Ranger team some form of a power-up, of a boost, to get them to the next level. We've seen it in so many seasons, and for the most part, it looks good. Super Dino Mode. Y'all know I had to throw in that Dino Thunder reference. Ooh! Ooh! Or even the Lights of Orion from Lost Galaxy. These are power-ups that Rangers get at normally the middle point of a season or whatever. So for Samurai, they get it during season 2, and it's called Super Samurai Mode. Fucking lazy. But okay, there's this item called a black box that the Gold Ranger Antonio has been trying to unlock so that they can use their boosted powers. And when Antonio enters the battlefield with the black box, this motherfucker's talking your head off.
You're done for, Nylok. I combined all the power discs into the black box, and now we can morph into Super Samurai, unleashing superpowers you can only imagine. Scared? You should be! He's gonna squash you like the bug that you are!
He talking big shit about this black box. I'm like, ooh, black box, okay, I see you. You know, I'm like my friend at the club. Hydro jail ass. I'm like, ooh, okay. I'm liking this, bruh. The black box is so fucking whack. Not only does it not give them any flashy abilities that capture your attention, but the costume is third world lazy. It's like they went to the resale store, saw a fucking coat, and put it on top of the suit. That's all Super Samurai Mode is. There's no effort or creativity put into it. Making Super Samurai Mode even worse is that Antonio is the one that unlocks the box. Antonio is the one that puts all of this work in to get them these powers. So when they get the black box, it means
nothing! Absolutely nothing!
Because they didn't put in any work to get the shit. Antonio was the one that did everything. So it's not rewarding. It's not a situation like in Power Rangers SPD where you had that B Squad team that went to another planet and trained as a team under harsh conditions and really learned things about each other, how to work together, how to sacrifice together. Then when they got SWAT mode, it meant so much. This don't mean shit. The powers suck. The abilities suck. This is kids bop shit, man. Awful. I personally really wanted to wait on certain criticisms I had for the first season of Samurai. Oh, that video originally was like 55 minutes, y'all. I went in, but I cut a lot of the content down because I was like, okay, maybe they're going to address these things in season 2, and I don't want to hop on them right now and bash them. But they didn't do these things in season 2, and we gotta talk about it. First off, we know that each individual ranger has a symbol power. Symbol powers representing like air, water, fire, forest, earth, and like light. So there's all different types of abilities that the rangers display with their weapons, or maybe even outside of their Power Ranger suits. There's a very cool scene in the first episode where they're tracking a Nightlock monster, and the footsteps for the Nightlock monster disappear for a few miles. But the Green Ranger Mike is able to still track his movements because his symbol power is forest, and they were going through the forest.
Have you lost the trail?
This way.
Good job, Mike.
Yeah, these footprints disappeared a long time ago. The forest is my turf.
I can still track him.
That's a big dose of creativity that Super Samurai didn't do with anybody else. And I ain't talking about Kevin fishing the goddamn Zord out of the fucking water. No, I ain't talking about that dumb shit. I'm talking about them actually doing something creative with simple powers. And they didn't do that. Another thing that I was like, man, would they please do this? Because it's a big opportunity to teach the audience something. Look, Power Rangers is a kid's show. It pains me to say that. I would never say that in public. Alright? Power Rangers is rated R in public, alright? It's for adults. But I can admit on YouTube to y'all, it's for fucking kids. I know that. They could have at least taught the audience about Japanese culture, about samurai history. They could have made an effort not to treat the audience like they so fucking dumb. There's no reason why we couldn't have learned a little bit about the history of samurai. I shouldn't have to go to my goddamn Amazon device and say, teach me about samurai, to learn about some fucking samurai. When the season is called Power Rangers Samurai. You can teach the audience something. It's a kid's show. Teach them something. Give them some history. Hell, I don't know shit about no goddamn samurai. If it ain't Samurai Jack, teach me something. And they didn't want to teach us nothing, man. That's another thing that really irked me about this season of the show. A lot of fans in the Power Rangers community over the past few years have spoken very vividly against Nickelodeon and the entire regular season and then super season format. And I understand why y'all are upset because it just feels repetitive and tired. It really did feel, to me personally, like they had a quota they had to meet for Super Samurai. And they didn't really know what to do with certain episodes as all these characters kind of reached their maximum development towards the end of season 1. Everybody except for Jaden. So season 2, they began to do things like pulling plot lines that were already resolved from season 1 back again. I'm up here watching an episode where Kevin is reminiscent about swimming again. We did that in season 1. Why are we doing that again? We had a whole episode dedicated to that in season 1. Why are we going back over the same shit? It's so fucking cringy because he goes to like a swimming event. He wants to swim, and then one of his old swimming mates is drowning in a fucking kiddie pool.
Come on, buddy.
Doing the most! They doing the most! Grab that motherfucker by the back of his neck and pull his ass out the fucking kiddie pool, man! They doing the most! I'm like, ugh! Speaking of doing the most, there's an episode, like episode 14 or some shit, where Jaden is having doubts about his ability to be the Red Ranger, about his ability to lead. Think about that. Season 2, he's having doubts about his ability to lead. Think about that. Season 2, what does that mean to you as an audience? That means that they don't know what the fuck they doing in the writer's room. Why wouldn't you have that type of arc happen in season 1? When he's first introduced to his teammates. When he first is thrusted with the responsibility of defeating Master Xander. Why are you having this plot line in season 2? He's up here in season 2 training with his teammates, beating the living shit out of these motherfuckers. I thought I was watching Django.
Come at me.
You got knocked the fuck out, man!
I mean, god damn. He was beating the fuck out of these people. I'm like, bruh, this don't make no damn sense. Why are they going back over the same plot lines and things that should have been done in season 1? They don't know what they doing. Now, before I beat up on Jaden too bad, let me give credit to the actor. I looked up his name 5 minutes ago and I already forgot. I don't care. The actor that plays Jaden, his performance this season is considerably better. I'm going to be honest with you. When he says his lines, because he's not acting his lines. He's still not acting them. He's still saying them. But when he says them with more emotion, with more oomph behind them. I can appreciate that. When he speaks, he uses his face to kind of, emote a little bit more when he's talking. So you don't feel like you're looking at fucking Ditto from Pokemon and shit. You're looking at a fucking blank face. A fucking emoji. You're glad that the actor gives a little bit more of a fuck this season. I don't know if they put some extra zeros on that check. I don't know if they had a little bit of crack. I don't know what they had. But I'm glad that he actually gave a damn this season and performed a little bit better. So, as I said in the beginning of the video, one thing I was really looking forward to was how the arc, the story, the writing around our first female Red Ranger would be. Because it's a really big step for the franchise. You feel me? Why can't we have a female Red Ranger? You know what I mean? We look at the Red Rangers in the franchise, it's a fucking sausage fest, man. I ain't really with that fucking shit. Where are the ladies at? Where the women at? You understand? That's how I feel. So I was looking forward to how they would handle it. And the Red Ranger, who's a woman, is Lauren. Lauren is the older sister of Jaden. So that's a very interesting dynamic. And that turns out to be the big secret that Jaden was keeping from the team. Now, when Lauren comes in, there's a lot of questions you have as a member of the audience. And her plot is very interesting. Get this. Originally, she was supposed to be the Red Samurai Ranger that led the team. But her brother and her father, along with Master G, all kept Lauren a secret. Lauren was somewhere far away training to master her symbol power because she's supposed to be the one that ultimately defeats Master Xander. But they had to keep her a secret while she was training. Meaning that Jaden was just kind of like a placeholder, alright? He was holding her jockstrap. He's a bench warmer. Just kind of holding the spot until Lauren comes back. That was a very interesting concept. And I can kind of see a little bit why Jaden maybe wanted to keep that a secret, right? If the team finds that out, maybe they look at you a little bit differently. So I can understand that. When Lauren comes in, she's very excited to see her brother. She's like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in years. Their chemistry together in terms of acting is very good. And she wants Jaden to stay around. She's like, hey, look, brother, me and you could be Red Rangers together. We could take down Master Xander. We don't have to follow the traditional samurai format of having only one Red Ranger. We can do this shit together. And I'm like, okay, I'm feeling a little High School Musical, we all in this together. Okay, I'm feeling this energy. Shout out to Ninja Storm, 2 Red Rangers. Shout out to Time Force, 2 Red Rangers. So I'm like, alright, we doing our thing. Bruh, this motherfucker Jaden packs up a bag and bounces. This motherfucker is so dramatic. He's so extra. What did I say? Doing too much!
You all need to follow Lauren now. She's the new Red Ranger and your leader. I'm going away.
What do you mean?
You mean on a trip, right?
I mean permanently.
Oh my God. Oh, let me calm myself down. Goodbye, bitch.
This motherfucker packs up a bag and leaves. Oh, it can't be 2 Red Rangers. It It just can't be two. It's gotta be one. So he leaves. Now, take this into consideration. Not only is he the leader of the team that packs up his bags and leaves his teammates behind, the end of every episode of Power Rangers Samurai ends with Jaden and the rest of the team saying, Rangers together, Samurai forever. They say that at the end of every episode. This is like their group calling, right? This is like their chant on some Alpha Omega shit.
Rangers together, Samurai forever.
That don't mean shit to Jaden. He's a liar because he walks out on his team the minute Lauren comes into the picture. Not only did he do that in season 2, but in season 1, when Antonio pops up on the screen and Antonio wasn't trained in the ways of the traditional samurai, he castrates Antonio. So how is this whole Rangers together, Samurai forever? It don't mean shit. It means nothing. Because he doesn't hold any value to it. He's a complete scumbag. When we got more time with the villains in this season, more and more development with them, I started kind of noticing something that really bothered me. And sadly, I didn't pay too much attention to it in season 1 because I was just ready to get that over with. I was ready to walk away. But if you look at the villains in Samurai, the only villain that has actual mouth movement that I can think of is Decker. And Decker only has a mouth movement when he's in his human form. Everybody else is dubbed over with mouths that rarely move. And the problem with that is that you begin to limit the acting ability and really the drive of certain people to do a great job when the mouth isn't moving. It really drains away performances. Now, I'm going to be completely fair. Some of the more classic villains in the franchise don't have mouth movement. Lord Zed ain't never moved his mouth, right? Come on now. He ain't never moved his mouth. We all love Ecliptor from In Space. His mouth ain't never moved. So I can understand how certain characters have mouth movement and other ones don't. But it just really takes away from the performance somebody can give when every single villain is dubbed over. Nobody actually has mouth movement. It just makes every single scene you have on the turbo boat feel lifeless. And how you gonna have the dialogue be lifeless when the fucking scenery is already lifeless? You might as well be dead. I'm gonna be fair about my criticisms that I had in season 1, where I talked about Master Xander felt like he was being saved for Super Samurai, and that was an issue I had in season 1. But looking back on season 2, I think the wait was worth it, right? Not only was Master Xander a formidable foe when he finally came onto the battlefield, but I did enjoy how different characters had plot lines that were directly linked to him. I thought it was cool seeing Lauren have her story connected directly to Master Xander with the symbol power. It was great seeing other villains come from out of nowhere to kind of backstab him at different points of Super Samurai. I thought the wait for Master Xander was worth it. So I would say him being on the bench season 1 ain't so bad, bruh. Because at least in season 2, it was worth it from a writing standpoint. How the different stories of our Rangers end for the final episode, to me, was definitely pleasing. Because I really enjoy endings where we know definitively this character is going to do this. This character is going to do that. I don't like it when it's just up in the air, right? It feels lazy. But I like definitive endings. We see that Jaden is going to stay back with Master G, right? He's going to try to have more recreational activities in his life. He spent his entire upbringing training to be a samurai. So now he gets an opportunity to kind of enjoy life. Everything was cool with him until they did this cringy shit.
I like the color.
Go on, give it a try.
Man, I could have betted my whole kidney and my whole liver that they was going to do some cringy nonsense like that, and they did it. But anyway, Kevin goes back to swimming. That's his passion. Mia goes to culinary school. Really? Okay. All right. And Mike and Emily end up in an official relationship, which made me happy because we had a pairing of Mia and Kevin and a pairing of Mike and Emily. It was nice to see one of those actually go somewhere. And Mike going away with Emily to the country was very satisfying for those two characters. I enjoyed that. But I did not enjoy this damn season. So, Power Rangers Super Samurai. What does it get? What does it deserve? Power Rangers Super Samurai gets an F. Plus. Because I'm petty. I did not enjoy this shit, man. They shoved so much Sentai footage up your ass with these two seasons, bruh. It had no originality. They didn't really try with this. It's a carbon copy of the Sentai, but it's worse. How? How do you do that? Doing too damn much, man. Anyway, today is Wednesday, and I'm going to start watching Power Rangers Megaforce later this afternoon. Damn! I heard the stories. Alright? I'm thinking about going to go get me some drinks and then start this shit. Because I want to prepare for the bullshit. Anyway, it's been weird, but it's been real. Doing too damn much, bruh. I don't know if I'm going to make it through this shit alive, y'all. If Megaforce is worse than this, we got issues. Alright. Get out of here, bitch.
I'm so fly, but you knew though. Like to mix it up my different items like Menudo. Don't force a nigga, I'm the nigga strange like I'm Hugo. Your mama check a nigga, watch a rollie or a Hugh blow. Like it really matters, I came with 4 seasons. They think a lot about my cars like my new Beamer. Your girl dipping in my seats, you should probably leave her. Nerd nigga with the glasses and the short season.